Hello, everybody. Dynamite Soul, Eric Walker here. For whatever reason, when I recorded this episode, I did not have my microphone on. So even though I was talking over this, there was no audio. So I'm just redubbing over this, just FYI. Hello, and welcome back to Dynamite Soul Plays Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke. I am Dynamite Soul. And, well, we lost Mighty, as you saw in the last episode during the grind. And we need some new team members, so I decided to challenge Koga because he's one of the main things keeping me from getting some of the team members that I wanted. So as you can see here, I grabbed Fury out of the Pokemon box just so I have a flyer, but he's nowhere near, she is nowhere near ready for prime time, so I just have to rely on my three go-tos right now. I taught Big Beef Psychic. Oh, Fury's a he. But I taught Big Beef Psychic, which, considering his health, should not be a problem when dealing with Koga. You know, the levels may cause a problem, but not by much. I forgot to clear out that last tamer trainer, but made quick work of him. And I've got both trainers in the gym. I descended from an ancient clan of ninjas. And you want to be a ninja, but you're a juggler. Don't quite get the basis for that. You know, sending out the beef. I'm glad poison gas is only 55 accuracy. And Big Beef got body slam, so he's hitting people with the beef bomb. And of course Fury did manage to level up after this. He was still too weak to be useful, but you know, nice to have him evolved. Leveling up's always good. Getting a Fearow. You know, when it came to the bird Pokemon, I always tended to go with Pidgeot or Pidgeotto if I had to. But Fury did some work. And then I'm gonna do a quick run out and get all my PP back. A quick heal at the Pokemon Center. And then we'll be ready to face Koga. Because what do I always say? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, like I had to make a decision. Risk fighting the rival and maybe team wiping, or take my chances with Koga. Because again, Seed Bomb, being part poison, is resistant to pretty much most of his moves, and Toxic won't work. The only thing that would be dangerous for Koga is his coughings and wheezings. Certainly no explosion or self-destruct, either way. So that would be the only real danger to really anybody on the team. But since he's the lesser of two evils, I decided to take him on. And so, here we go. Throw Big Beef up front because he has Psychic. And here we go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So either I'm wiping here, or I'm opening up the last bit of the game. And just outside the damage range. And my accuracy's down. Okay, burn through one hyper potion. And smoke screen's affecting me. Alright, I gotta get this off. Yep. And just so that doesn't work again. I'm gonna switch in Big Beef again. Because now he's definitely within the damage range. And he smoke screens me again. Oh, come on. Luckily, I have full heals as well as some berries. That since I don't have pickup and I'm not going to the SETI Islands, I can burn through. And the one thing I was afraid of, and it killed Big Beef. So you can only imagine my grief-strickenness when that happened, because Big Beef was going to be one of my anchors on the team. But yet another coughing cost me a valuable team member, and he was the basis for my entire strategy for this fight. So you can imagine how much I was panicking. Note, this is being recorded after the fact. So obviously there's a level discrepancy here, and Muck is tanky as all hell. But Dragon Rage does set damage, and it can very easily put him in the damage range that I need, as well as burn through another Hyper Potion. So even with the acid armor, and there he decides to go for minimize. And once again, old Bess putting in work, and she's poisoned. So we just gotta keep her up with full heals and potions. And one more Dragon Rage ought to take Muck out, because I think Koga only had 2 Hyper Potions. And so while I can't stall him, necessarily, because I think they have Liquid Ooze, so Leech Seed won't help. Or it'll hurt more than it'll help. So just using Dragon Rage should do the trick. And Bess gets poisoned again. Luckily, I stocked up on healing items before the fight. And then this happens. While she survived and leveled up, the poison still took effect and killed her. So that's 2 vital team members down, with only my starter and a Pokemon half that Weezing's level. And this thing knows self-destruct. You know it does. I think the only thing that stopped it from doing it was the fact that it was a higher level. So I immediately put it to sleep. I'm not taking any chances with my starter, because if I lose him, yes, I win the battle, but I'm gonna have to pull out everything from the box and start clean over, as well as with the 2 or 3 Pokemon I was planning on getting later. So luckily, Sleep Powder worked both times, and Leech Seed was helping me keep him down. Luckily, Koga was both out of his Hyper Potions, so he didn't heal him, and I took him down with Razor Leaf. So I beat Koga at the cost of my literal heavy hitter and my Gyarados, which has been carrying me, which carried me through so many fights that I lost on pretty much a technicality. Like if poison hadn't affected her that turn, or maybe if she had just had 1 more health, she would have survived that. She would have survived that self-destruct. But it was what it was. You know, I had to, because, you know, there was no way I would survive Rival Fivel. So I did what I had to do. I'm just mad that it came at their sacrifice. So I released the Big Beef. And due to her having Surf, I could not release Best, so what I ended up doing was just depositing her in a separate box until I can get somebody else who had Surf so I could release her. In hindsight, I probably should have made a graveyard box just to see and make a monument to all my screw-ups. So Citizen Snips, since he can learn Cut and Surf, and I wasn't taking any of these guys out because, yeah. But despite everything, I can use Surf in battle now. But the bright side to it is I can go get a couple of Pokemon that I've been inkling to get. Yeah, I think this is one of the hardest hitting losses during the entire Nuzlocke. Because, you know, to be literally 2 gyms from the end and essentially have to train up a whole new squad essentially from scratch. But I had a plan. This was kind of my plan from the beginning, but, you know, there were a couple things I didn't necessarily expect, like losing Best wasn't necessarily a big deal, but losing Big Beef was like, I absolutely did not expect that to happen. And considering how heavy a hitter Snorlax is, you know, yeah, I was in a pinch. But since you technically get the old armor from Pewter, it counts as an encounter here. So I went and did that. And figured I'd catch a couple more Pokemon, since I can now surf with impunity, as well as reach Cinnabar Island. So this would count as an encounter for Pallet Town. And I caught a horsey. Now obviously you can only get Seadra in this gen. Like I said, and it's a pretty solid Pokemon, but let's face it, Kingdra's a tank. But you can't get it unless you trade. So if I really needed a water Pokemon, I had one. And the name I came up with, I don't know why I was thinking of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode, but Sweet Sea was literally the only thing that was registering, like, yes, name it this. And there's obviously a grass patch here, so, you know, what do we find here? Tanglers. Nothing but Tanglers. And to say I grinded later on these things, like I probably erased the entire Tangela population in a later grind. Don't know why I caught it, but you know. And yeah, when I named this thing, you can tell by its name that I really did not care. This thing was never going to see the light of day. Yeah, that's what I went with. Good old Citizen Snips. Yes, I could have caught a fairly high-level Tentacool. But, you know, I wasn't going to train that thing up. Even though, yeah, he probably didn't need much training because he was only like a few levels lower than Seed Bomb. So as you can see, one was 35, one was 5. So the fact that I got a high roll on one, you know, but that's not the water type Pokemon that I wanted. Maybe in a later gen run, I'll use a Tentacruel, but today was not that day. And right before we make landfall, we get another encounter. And we made it to Cinnabar. And obviously the first thing I do is throw these two in the box. Oh yeah, just look at that C Squad. Yeah, just look at that C Squad. And we release Bess since she can be released now. But yeah, did you see that C Squad? But nope, we're gonna build us up we're gonna build up this B Squad into AA Squad. I know one of these guys teaches metronome. Nah, man. So I'll give him the old amber. Weird doctor. So we walk out the building. We turn right back around. To get our Aerodactyl. I think he meant like I thought. And there was only one name for our Aerodactyl. Diesel. Because, you know, fossil fuel. And I made a starling. I'll trade you a seal for a Ponyta. So, you know, I'm thinking I made out like a bandit. I got an Aerodactyl. But as you can see here, it's only level 5. And it only knew wing attack. So I'm like, what the hoo-hey? So I was under the impression that you can catch Ponyta in this mansion like you did in the original gens. But I was very, very wrong. They moved the Ponytas to the Sevi Islands, which I did not go to. So I'm kind of without a fire type. Figure I'd catch something in the Pokemon Mansion. Can't catch a Growlithe because I already killed one. Who would still be on the team today if I hadn't been so stupid with that Rattata. And it's the same one from earlier. So after dealing with that, I said, you know what? We'll deal with it next time. Oh wait, no. My mistake. So I was doing some planning. Trying to figure out what would the best next move be. So I decided to head over to the... Well, first fish here, because this is a new route. See what I can catch. I already got one of you. And we'll cast again. So I figured I'd just go to the... I'm going to try it again. And another horsey. Trying to avoid all the training because I need to get to the Seafoam. Because there's a Pokemon that I need. Thought I had some repels, but I didn't. So we run around here in the basement of the first floor of the Seafoam. I already got you. Thankfully, because that would have been terrible. To catch a Psyduck. And look at that. He's already level 31. So him catching up will be easy. Don't even want to try and hit it. And we caught our Psyduck. Our new ace. In hindsight, I probably could have named him Ace Duck. But no, I went with another duck name. Quackor the Fowl. That may be too old a reference, but that was a reference to the Quackor episode of Dexter's Laboratory. So now that I got my Psyduck in hand, time to finally track down my electric type, which means heading to the power plant. So, after remembering that there was a Pokemon Center over here, I decided to head over to the old power plant. You know, Pikachu had a pretty good percentage of chance of showing up, as did Magnemite. So I figured that would be one of the Pokemon I'd end up with. So, you know, I walk in. Getting my counter. And wouldn't you know, it was an Electabuzz. I actually looked and checked. This had a 5% chance of happening. So after all the bad luck, some of the ridiculous luck I had in this Nuzlocke run, you know, I caught an Electabuzz. Not only did I encounter it, but I caught it. You know, no, like in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have been using Razor Leaf because of the crit chance on that move. But I caught him. And I was feeling so good. There was one thing I could name him. I mean, to be brutally honest, I was so shocked that I encountered one and caught him that it took me a minute to figure out a name. But just the good vibes that I was getting just from catching him. And I thought, you know what? At first I was going to name him Ecstatic, but I'm like, nah. Oh yeah, I took a long time on this one. Probably longer than I should have. Here we go. Wait. There we go. It was originally going to be Dr. Feelgood, that's right. But I just decided to just stick with Good Vibes. Or G-Vibe for short. Good vibes. Yeah, that took forever to name, but that's what he was called. So, you know, I jetted right out of there. Yeah, now look at that team. You know, I was expecting a Magnemite, maybe a Pikachu, but you got an Electabuzz. And this was like the last major route that I hadn't been to. So this, what you're looking at, was pretty much going to end up being the team, because couldn't really catch anything else. I head over to the department store to pick up a water stone, because my old man brain was under the impression that Golduck evolved via a water stone. And I remember in my Pokemon Red run, because I used the Golduck, that was the case. But here shortly, when I got the water stone, I found out that was not the case. So, silly me. They got NESs for sale. So yeah, I buy my water stone. Must have forgot something. Yeah, I don't think I even healed them when I came into town. Yeah, I figured I didn't want any more shenanigans where if I had just evolved a Pokemon, I could have saved myself some headache. So I wanted to evolve Quackor right away to get those stat boosts. So got everybody healed up. And I just wanted to level them up because now we got the other major thing. Defeating our rival in Silphco. Now again, now we got a team with the type coverage I need. Heck. Like, that's really what I've been waiting for. And now I finally got it. So yeah, I think I grabbed the water stone at this point. Try and give it to Golduck, and it's of no use. Silly, silly me. So I'll take a look at the team, and I figure Probably don't need Citizen Snips anymore since Quackor is probably going to be given Surf. So I'll do a little remodeling, or rearranging, if you will. So I store Citizen Snips, and then I get ready to move on. And I'm going to do a little distribution. And then I'll see you next time on Dynamite Soul Plays Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke.